What if I told you that one of European football's most storied clubs has been staring at an unfinished concrete skeleton, sitting right in the middle of their own city for 16 straight years? Not hidden away, not forgotten in some industrial wasteland. It sits there in plain sight, a daily reminder of the biggest broken promise in Spanish football history. But here is the explosive part. The man responsible for most of those 16 wasted years, still the owner, still in charge. And yet, somehow, Valencia CF are now finally building something so extraordinary that it could completely transform everything. A stadium so ambitious, unlike anything Spanish football has ever seen, that the entire continent is paying attention. There is just one twist nobody saw coming. This brand new stadium being built right now in a country co-hosting the 2030 FIFA World Cup will not host a single World Cup match. The most ambitious project in Valencia's history, excluded from the biggest tournament in football. So how did Valencia get here? Does the money actually add up this time? And can this club finally finish what they started 16 years ago? This is the full story of No Mestalla, and it is unlike anything you have heard before. Let's get into it. The Estadio Mestalla opened in 1923, and over a century later, it is still standing, still hosting football, and still considered one of the most extraordinary venues in European football. Once ranked the second greatest stadium in Europe, above Camp Nou and Anfield. But by the mid-2000s, that identity had a problem that history and romance could no longer fix. Valencia were living through one of the greatest periods in their history, 2 La Liga titles in 3 seasons, back-to-back Champions League finals, and a UEFA Cup triumph that had firmly established them among Europe's elite. But while Real Madrid and Barcelona were transforming their stadiums into commercial gold mines through naming rights, premium hospitality, and year-round revenue, Valencia were stuck in a 1923 ground that simply could not keep up. The concourses were narrow, the facilities were outdated, and the stadium was so tightly surrounded by the city that meaningful expansion was virtually impossible. The fear inside Valencia's boardroom was not that the club would suddenly collapse. It was slower and more dangerous than that. They would gradually lose the financial power to compete at the top, and success on the pitch would eventually follow the money elsewhere. So, in November 2006, club president Juan Soler made an announcement that stunned Spanish football. Valencia were going to build a brand new stadium, not just any stadium, but in his own words, the best stadium in Europe. An 80,000-seat ground designed to generate revenues that would keep Valencia competing with the continent's elite for decades. The ambition was so grand that the city's mayor publicly declared she wanted the 2011 Champions League final played there. On August 1st, 2007, construction began with the entire city buzzing, and Valencia's future looking brighter than it had in years. But the entire plan rested on one single critical assumption: selling the old Mestalla land to property developers for around 350 million euros would cover all construction costs. In Spain's booming property market of 2007, it seemed not just logical, but completely inevitable. Nobody seriously questioned whether it could fail. Then, 2008 arrived, and the global financial crisis tore through Spain's real estate market with devastating speed. Property values collapsed, developers disappeared, and the old Mestalla, once valued at up to 400 million euros, suddenly had no buyers at any price. Valencia, already carrying 547 million euros in debt, found themselves staring at a catastrophe with absolutely no way out. Then came the moment that made everything darker still. On May 26, 2008, scaffolding at the No Mestalla site collapsed, and 4 construction workers lost their lives. A stadium meant to represent Valencia's future was now marked by grief. On February 25, 2009, construction officially stopped and the cranes left the site for the last time. The concrete skeleton was almost fully standing, the bones of a 75,000-seat stadium clearly visible to the entire city of Valencia. But there was nothing left to finish it with. 6 presidents came and went, 4 redesigns were drawn up and abandoned, and promises to supporters were made and broken so many times that the word itself lost all meaning. The unfinished stadium became a permanent fixture of the city's skyline, a daily reminder of the moment ambition met disaster. Then, in late 2024, the narrative shifted for the first time in years. Under President Lee Hoon-chan, Valencia secured a staggering €322 million financing package, one of the most significant financial transactions ever completed by a professional football club in Europe. For the first time in over 16 years, the money was actually there. The concrete ghost that had haunted this city for a generation was finally about to wake up. But after 16 years of redesigns, chaos, and broken promises, what exactly are Valencia building now? What Valencia are building today is not the stadium Juan Soler promised in 2007. That version was going to hold 80,000 fans and be the best stadium in Europe. After 16 years and 6 separate redesigns driven by financial reality, the capacity has settled at 70,044, still the 3rd largest in Spain, still bigger than every ground in the country except the Bernabeu and Camp Nou. The design was handed to Fenech Iribarren Architects, the firm behind 3 stadiums at the 2022 FIFA World Cup in Qatar. Their concept is built around a Mediterranean philosophy, open, flowing, and connected to the city around it. Rather than a closed shell, this design opens the stadium up entirely. Flowing open promenades connect directly with Valencia's surrounding streets, while dynamic wavy ribbons of aluminium twist across the entire exterior facade, giving the ground a fluid organic identity unlike anything else in Spanish football. But the single most extraordinary element is the roof. Fully translucent, designed to filter Mediterranean sunlight across every single seat while providing complete protection from rain. For context, the current Mestalla has cover over just 1 stand. The new roof changes everything, every seat, every match, under the same warm, luminous canopy. And across its exterior, Octopus Energy will install a full solar energy system alongside a Telefonica high-capacity Wi-Fi network, providing simultaneous connectivity for tens of thousands of fans, making Nou Mestalla one of the most technologically advanced and sustainable venues in European football from day one. Inside, the fan experience has been completely reimagined. 9 distinct premium hospitality experiences have been designed by legends across the stadium, with accessibility provisions and inclusive spaces built throughout every tier. The entire bowl features over 600 HD screens, advanced LED systems, and a state-of-the-art sound system engineered specifically for the acoustic properties of the translucent roof above it. Beyond match days, the new Nou Mestalla is designed as a 365-day commercial destination, restaurants, a Valencia CF museum, a mega store, corporate hospitality, and event spaces generating revenue every single day of the year. Naming rights are being marketed through agency Elevate, with a major sponsor announcement expected before opening. Here is the number that puts everything into perspective. Valencia currently generate around €26.4 million annually from the old Mestalla. At the new stadium, that figure is projected to reach €81.8 million every year, more than 3 times what they earn today. For a club that has been forced to sell its best players for years just to stay financially solvent, that is not just significant. It is the difference between surviving and actually competing. Then came the controversy that nobody saw coming. An independent audit revealed construction costs had already risen 17% above original projections, adding tens of millions to a project already pushing financial boundaries. And then there is the detail that stings most. Nou Mestalla was not included in Spain's official list of host stadiums for the 2030 FIFA World Cup. A stadium being built right now in a country co-hosting the biggest tournament in football will not be used for a single World Cup match. For a project meant to announce Valencia's return to the global stage, that exclusion is impossible to ignore. The vision is extraordinary, But between stunning renderings and a finished stadium, this project has a long history of producing the unexpected. So what exactly is still standing between Valencia and the finish line? On January 10, 2025, the cranes returned to the No Mestalla construction site for the first time in 16 years. One day before a city-imposed deadline that would have triggered serious legal consequences for the club. Nobody celebrated, nobody threw a party, because in Valencia, this city had been promised this stadium too many times. Words meant nothing anymore, only steel and concrete would do. And for once, the steel actually started arriving. But before we talk about what is going right, we need to talk about the man who made 16 years go so wrong. Peter Lim bought Valencia in 2014 with promises the stadium would be finished by 2019 in time for the club's centennial. 2019 arrived. Nothing happened. A partnership with CVC Capital Partners offered another financing lifeline in 2021. That collapsed too. Meanwhile, Lim sold Valencia's best players year after year, Rodrigo, Ferran Torres, Carlos Soler, without reinvesting properly. By January 2025, Valencia were sitting second bottom of La Liga while their half-built stadium rusted outside the city. The anger had been building for a decade and it had nowhere left to go. So how exactly is Valencia funding all of this? And does the money actually add up this time? The €322 million financing package is structured through two instruments arranged by Goldman Sachs, a €237 million corporate bond and an €85 million loan facility. For the first time in over a decade, this is not a plan built on assumptions. It is institutional-grade financing with signed agreements behind every number. On top of that, Valencia expect approximately €150 million from the eventual sale of the old Mestalla land, one of the last premium parcels available in Valencia's city center. Combined, those two figures cover the entire projected construction cost with a meaningful buffer. The foundation that collapsed in 2008 has finally been rebuilt properly. Then there is the fate of the old Mestalla itself. Valencia are searching for a buyer for the nearly 90,000 square meter plot in the heart of the city. But an uncomfortable problem has emerged. Many construction companies are refusing to be associated with the demolition. Tearing down a 103-year-old ground that fans call La Catedral is not a job every company wants on their CV. Finding someone willing to swing the wrecking ball at a national landmark is proving harder than anyone anticipated. So where does construction actually stand right now? The first section of the roof compression ring has been successfully installed. A major structural milestone that signals the most complex phase of construction is now underway. 6 of the 50 38-meter steel pillars are already standing on site, with weekly deliveries continuing from Galicia. Interior architecture works have also begun ahead of schedule, meaning for the first time in 16 years, this project is actually running faster than planned. Every pillar installed, every ring assembled, every section completed brings Valencia one step closer to a July 11, 2027 final work certificate, a contractual deadline with serious financial consequences if missed. In the second half of 2026, Valencia season ticket holders will walk into the new stadium and choose their permanent seat in their own ground for the first time in their lives. The deadline is real, the money is secured, and for the first time since 2007, Valencia fans finally have every reason to believe. Do you think Valencia will finally finish it, or will something go wrong again? Drop your answer in the comments, and if you enjoyed this, don't forget to like and subscribe. We'll see you in the next one.